A good quality pair of floor standers can instantly supercharge your hi-fi system and deliver room-filling sound, acting as an attention-grabbing duo and offering the breadth, scale, and authority that most bookshelf speakers can only dream of. You still need to choose wisely and make sure you pick the best floor-standing speakers for your budget and room size, though. Perhaps you're building a hi-fi system from scratch, or sizing up from a bookshelf pair to a bigger model, or you want to spend big on a pair of speakers that will wow your friends and neighbors. It's worth noting that floor standers tend to be pricier than their smaller stand-mount counterparts. The bigger size means more materials used and higher prices. We have listed the best floor-standing speakers 2024 and their key features. You need to consider this to help you choose the best one for you. For more information on the product, as always, I've included a link in the description box down below, which are updated with the best prices on each product. Like the video, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned till the end so you don't miss anything. Now let's get started. Number 5. Spendor A7. Elegant floor standers with a dynamic sound. Build quality is of a high standard, with crisp edges and impeccably smart wood veneer, finishes in either black ash, dark walnut, or natural oak. There's also a satin white option at a premium. Spendor is unique in having its own cabinet-making plant in the UK, and the company also supplies cabinets to other British speaker brands, including some of its direct rivals. Just like the A4, the A7 are two-way speakers. Each speaker has an 18cm mid-bass driver and a 22mm tweeter with a wide surround, which help disperse the sound even further. The main difference is, of course, cabinet size. The A7 heads Spendor's A-line range. They're about 7 cm taller than the A4 and 2 kilos heavier, but their relatively slim and compact dimensions, for floor standers, mean they will fit neatly into most homes. Position them correctly, around 20-30 centimeters away from a wall or corners, and you'll reap the rewards. The Spendors have rear-firing slot-shaped reflex ports to reduce noise and distortion, and to give better grip on bass than a conventional tube-shaped port can generally manage. We're fully expecting the A7 to sound like the A4, but bigger. And that's exactly what the A7 are, but with even greater insight and dynamics accompanying the grander scale. Detail levels are fantastic, with each instrumental strand and vocal quirk laid bare. The sound is terrifically clean and organized, but where other Spendors, such as the previous generation A5, prioritized refinement, these A7 also pack in bags of punch to keep things sounding lively. Vocals are a particular highlight. We play Liability by Lorde, and the emotionally laden vocals sound gorgeous. Focused, tangible, and intimate. It's a wonderful performance, and one that inspires us to search for more vocal-heavy tracks to see just how talented these A7 are. Number 4. PMC Prodigy 5. PMC slimline floor standers deliver a sonic masterclass. As you'll have already gathered from this review's introduction, the PMC Prodigy 5 are in diametric opposition to the old maxim about Victorian children, designed to be heard rather than seen. Every spare penny has been invested in audio performance rather than visual flair, and to an extent that comes across before you've even connected to the Prodigy 5 and booted up your first test track. Slim, black, and lacking in any extraneous flair or add-ons, the Prodigy 5 are, as we've said, built to a modest utilitarian philosophy. That being said, there's very little to call the Prodigy 5 actively ugly, and for a pair of floor standers, they're a long way from drawing the eye in an unfavorable manner. Rather, the slimline towers feel crafted to fade into the background, more as quiet sentinels standing in the shadows than showy centerpieces designed to make a visual statement. Internally, the Prodigy 5 sports similar overall DNA to the smaller Prodigy 1 stand mounts, featuring a 27mm tweeter accompanied by a 13cm mid-bass driver that, says PMC's head of design, aims to bring the studio home. PMC claims to use the same core technology across both its flagship studio products and its home audio speakers, with the Prodigy 5's drivers aiming to fill a large space thanks to its transmission line technology. The Prodigy 5 are typical PMC speakers, in that they're unfussy and transparent when it comes to the equipment you pair them up with. The slimline floor standers are easygoing and good-natured up to a point, meaning they're transparent enough to show you the qualities of a better amplifier, but generally willing to reveal, rather than exaggerate, the faults in recordings or accompanying equipment. Number 3. Triangle Borea BR08. Pricier than the diamonds, but you do get a jump in sound quality to match. As this list shows, there's no shortage of talented floor-standing speakers on the market, with the Triangle Borea BR08 providing another excellent example of a pair that gives you just a little bit of that special something. The cabinets may look a little basic, but look a tad closer and you'll appreciate that they're solid, well-made, and unquestionably neatly finished. The provided plinths bolt onto the bottom for a bit of extra stability, although we'd prefer the spikes to be a little sharper to penetrate through thicker carpets. A three-way design, the BR08 employ two fiberglass cone bass drivers aided by a front-firing reflex port, plus a 25mm silk dome tweeter. Their high sensitivity means you should be able to get good volume levels from even low-powered amps, although their nominal 8-ohm impedance dips to a 3-ohm minimum, so make sure you check for proper compatibility. Afford the speakers plenty of room to breathe, a good 40-50 sound can meters in all directions. Angle them towards the listener and you'll hear the triangles at their best. We'd avoid bright-sounding electronics, but find suitable partners, and you'll be treated to a showcase of their entertaining sound, with vigor and dynamic strength that many rivals simply fail to match. Worth an audition, certainly, although we'd also urge you to seek out the Dolly Oberon 5 as another entertaining alternative at a similar price. Their 102 centimeters tall cabinets look a little basic from the outside due to flat parallel sides and a lack of adornment. But take a closer look and you'll find them to be solid, well-made, and neatly finished. They come in 4 finishes: black ash, white walnut, and the recently introduced, and rather nice, light oak. Number 2. Wharfedale Diamond 12.3. Wharfedale delivers the best entry-level floor-standing speakers. For customers just looking to get their first hi-fi all put together, the Wharfedale Diamond 12.3 is our outstanding affordable floor stander right now. So much so that we've lavished it with multiple awards trophies over the past few years. The Diamond 12.3 are sonically even more impressive than the revered 12.1. And considering the fact that the latter are 5-star performers, that's not an easy task. Competition at this price comes from the impressive ELAC Debut 2.0, f5.2, and 5-star Fine Audio f302i, but we still feel that it's the Wharfedales that offer supremely good value. They aren't massive speakers, just 98 cm tall, but they benefit from having space to truly breathe. Give them a bit of inward angling, and you'll be fine, even if their wide sound dispersion means you don't have to fret about being millimeter perfect. Sonically, they're classic Wharfedale, smooth, even-handed, and refined. Feed them a crummy signal, and they're skilled at revealing the shortcomings without exaggerating them, rounding off rough edges and downplaying unwanted aggression without sounding like they're smothering the music itself. Feed them Trance Friends by Oliver Arnolds and they deliver a lovely layered sound that's brimming with detail and dynamic nuance. These speakers capture the album's laid-back rhythms in a pleasingly sure-footed manner, and don't get tripped up when things get complex. They resolve a large amount of information, but also present it in an organized and controlled way. The Wharfedale's chief rival is the talented Fine f302i, which sound more enthusiastic but lack the Diamond's innate sophistication. Number 1. Q Acoustics 5040, a superbly insightful and entertaining performance from Q Acoustics' excellent floor standers. If you twisted our arm and told us to pick the floor-standing speakers that we felt were providing the best value for money at full price right now, the Q Acoustics 5040 would be hard to beat. The British brand's 5000 series sits in between the more budget 3000 series and the pricier concept range, with the 5040 acting as the smaller of the 2 floor standers in the series. As is the case across the 5000 line, the 5040 used the brand's continuous curved cone design for its mid-bass drivers, bringing together the rigidity advantages of standard conical cones with the high-frequency breakup characteristics associated with a more flared design. The results are a triumph. Match them with slightly more refined partnering electronics, and the 5040 will sound magnificently precise and clear, with agility and grip to give that full sense of fun and life. We're keen on how these towers sound composed, controlled, and measured when needed, with a sense of organization that doesn't drop when the music becomes demanding. Tonally, they're a tad lean, but not so far as to become problematic. The more expensive Wharfedale Evo 4.4 are certainly a sophisticated alternative, yet Q Acoustics 5040 are so even-handed and balanced that they let your songs shine without ever getting in the way. Partnered them with care, and they'll deliver a performance that feels class-leading at this level. We have no complaints about the 5040's build and finish. Q Acoustics tends to do such things well, and the story hasn't changed here. The cabinet feels rigid thanks to the 25mm thick HDF front baffle and the carefully considered internal bracing employed. The other panels are all 20mm thick MDF. Once you get the speakers out of the box, you need to screw on their aluminium outriggers on the back end of the base. But beyond adding the spikes, there's little more to do.